it's Erin and Simon with Assets and Arbitrage for your Friday posting. We hope you guys had a good week.
Yes, indeed. We hope that your week was prosperous and productive. We always hope to see that. Like we say, we always look to be doing things that are productive, constructive. So hope that you had a productive and constructive week. And we're finishing the week out here with some information, a couple few things. Nothing too heavy, but just still some things to that we will like to go over. But in the meanwhile, like we like to say, keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking. This was a good week to be stacking
Mhm.
Satoshi and ounces and anything else you may be into. We're going to go over a few things about the Bitcoin price and the gold, but more or less the silver price. So we're going to go over a few things there, and you know. So what we will say is before we go over the prices, I want to go over something that we talked about before, and we're going to go back, and we're going to go back again. What's wrong here?
Where's the chart?
The 1 day, I don't see the 1 day. See the
But
five
look
day?
how it says 000.
Yeah, check the 5 day.
But why would the 1 day chart show up like that?
The past.
No, it's 24 hours to show up like this.
Yeah, so we'll have to use the 5 day right there.
But that's so weird.
Yeah. It glitches from time to time.
Okay.
So first, if you could pull up that definition for me over there, I think it's Investopedia
I asked you, you said you didn't need me to.
to pull the definition up. Okay, well I'll pull it up. I have it right here. Yeah, it's not anything that you guys need to read along with. It's just a short definition. But we talked about this last month, and this last month it was the double witching Friday, and those happen more often. But we're going to go over today, which today was a triple witching Friday. You say a triple witching Friday? What is that? That sounds crazy.
We talked about it a few shows a while ago too. It was a
Yeah, we
double
did.
witching. So that was last month in May.
Yeah, so we're going to give you the definition of triple witching, which is a little more rare, right? So, witching and the impact it has on trading in final
But
hours.
let me pull up the definition so that they can read it with you. Some people get stuff better than like that.
Okay.
Triple witching.
Yeah, and just on the Investopedia. Yep, it's a rare event. Happens 4 times a year. We'll go over real quick. All right. So there we go. And here we go.
Okay.
So, triple witching is the simultaneous expiration of stock options, stock index futures, and the stock index option contracts, all on the same trade on the third Friday of March. December expected expiration date for the three might increase trading volume and cause unusual price changes in underlying assets. Right. So with the, simplify all that, it is going to cause volatility. My beautiful wife, I'm sorry, this is blurry. If you could read the key takeaways for us.
Triple witching is the expiration on the same day of stock options, stock index futures, and stock index option contracts.
Yeah.
Triple witching occurs quarterly, so the third Friday of March, June, September, and December. And I don't know if you guys remember, the double witching happens on the opposite. So we had read to you the double witching, which happened on the third Friday in May, for those of you who remember that show. The triple witching days can cause a spike in trading activity as traders close, roll out, or offset their expiring positions, particularly in the final hour of trading. Do you think that has something to do with the chart being messed up?
It could. In the
So I
final
do
hour,
want to show y'all something.
in the final hour of trading, things get hectic,
Look
as
at
they
this,
call it.
y'all.
Yeah. So the one, this is just a basic chart we use. I'm sure we can go around to some different Bitcoin charts. I like to use Trading View, but
But
this
look
is
how
just
the Bitcoin chart. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, y'all. Sorry. So look at how the 1 day chart has like no information. Look how it tell you $0, 0% today. There's
yeah.
like no movement, and we've never ever seen that before. Obviously, things are normal for the other charts,
hmm
but wow, to see it like the look at that. Remember it was just blank, now it's weird.
Yeah, it's getting weird right now. Things are resetting at the end of the day on this triple witching Friday, and so you will see volatility in some of the things. But I wanted to go show you this silver chart, show you some volatility, unnecessary volatility, but
Volatility nonetheless.
there we go. So if you can see this silver chart, um, it's a basic line chart, nothing too intricate, but this is the 1 day chart. And if you go right here and you start, so we're starting right up here. So that's 8 in the morning. Silver's about 30.51. And you just watch it all the way
On a
on a
Friday.
Friday, right?
Yeah, hammer it all the way down.
All the way down, closing basically not quite at the low of the day, but pretty much the low of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And typically things that trade don't close at the low of the day. You'll have a high of the day, a low of the day, and then there'll be the close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. This is the high of the day. As soon as the day started, as high as it ever got.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go up a little bit. It didn't come down. It just went straight on down to the low of the day. And that's a triple witching Friday for you. Conversely, like I said, if you have a stronger dollar, it pushes down the price of the metals. So, you got to kind of hedge right there and see where you want to have your investment. If you want to be invested in fiat because you know that it's pushing down a little bit on your precious metals, or if you see that you have some fiat that's strong, right? You got some strong fiat sitting on the sideline and you see this get pushed down, this is a good time to go snatch up and buy that dip. So there's different ways to approach this. We are not financial advisors, but just things to keep in mind. That's why we always say keep a little, as they say, some powder on the sidelines. Just in case you see opportunities like this. A guaranteed a close at the low of the day, right? Was a little bit of
Beat down.
yeah, it's a beat down in the very final hours of a thinly traded market. Remember, it's Friday, so the last hour is going to be thinly traded,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the perfect time to beat it down at that price point and have it start there. So that's a good, over the weekend, if you had a chance, this is a good time to buy some silver because it probably will open higher on Monday morning just because it closed at the low of the day. But anything can happen in this market, man. This thing is crazy. It's that the market's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've known this for so many years. You can't really, all your technical analysis and all this stuff, man, you still can't predict what's going on in the world. So, we stay vigilant. We stay vigilant and we stay a lot of discipline, I'm sorry if I spoke too long, but just wanted to show you a couple charts. Didn't want to get too far into it,
Mm-hmm.
but just something that you can see on a triple witching Friday. Happens quarterly is a good way to put it. But every every fourth month. Did you have anything about that or
Mm-mm.
no?
Mm-mm.
So triple witching. Did we have anything in the comments? Anybody want to?
So we got some kind of new names in the
Oh, okay,
comments.
thank you.
We want to welcome cousin Adam Bailey.
Hey,
Let
Adam
freedom
Bailey.
reign. Thank you so much for joining us. Cousin Brandon Mays, Better Days. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, what's
That
up?
is a
What's
new
up?
name, so thank you for joining. And OC Benji. OC Benji's been with us for a good little bit now.
Okay, yeah.
So that's cousin OC, and we're happy to
OC.
have you in the room.
OC from Brooklyn. You remember OC?
Maybe from
OC from Brooklyn,
OC Benji. Where are you chatting with us from?
if you don't mind.
So we have somewhat of an interesting show for you today. I named it King of Your Dominion because
Uh-oh.
it's a lot of ratchetness going on, as they would frame it, right? They like to use our own ebonics when they want to mock us, I guess.
Could you excuse me, sir? Do you mind turning off this arch light?
Oh, I can turn it on.
Oh, it's just like it's a little light burst or something. Thank you.
So we want to show you guys something interesting, which is why we spend. Oh, it's Timadon. See, y'all stay coming in here with the second, third, fourth aliases. It's Timadon's cousin Ty. He said his other account.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pay off
All right.
some folks. So thank
That's
you.
crazy,
So he's Timadon in his final form. So I thought it was somebody new. But I like to see new names, and then I get all hyped up, and then it's a cousin that we already have that cousin. Cousin already part of the family. New adoptions today. Well, Adam. Unless Adam too has an alias that we're familiar with.
Adam was with us last show, previous show, yeah. Adam Bailey.
But cousin Ty, you know better than that. Yeah, tell us like, wait, no, I'm not new. Okay, so we're gonna play something very interesting for you guys. Oh, OC is from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, okay.
You got access to all that good cheese.
Wisconsin, yeah.
My kids used to watch the show called Living Natty, and they lived in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they did. I remember that show.
Yeah. That's about as Wisconsin as it gets for me.
Yeah.
So, have you been there like the whole time?
We're up there.
Did you end up like on a military base or something over there? Is that where your family's from? Tell me a little bit. You put the cheese out there.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit how you ended up in Wisconsin.
They one of them Packers fans, huh?
Oh, but you never know, because sometimes football people don't be the place that they from. Sometimes it's from the place that they came from. So OC Benji, are you a Packers fan? And did you live in Wisconsin? You got that dry powder and cheese.
Yeah.
And did you live in Wisconsin your whole life, or did something bring you there? If you don't mind, we being nosy. We trying to get to know our cousins better.
Yeah. We always like to know people.
Mm-hmm. While cousin OC Benji is giving us some of his life story, we're going to play a very interesting clip for you. We would like for even the non-chatters, if you have something to say, we want to hear it.
Please, we'll play it once without
interruption.
There's
nothing for us to
in
say.
any context.
It speaks for itself.
You just tell us what you think about this video. Short video.
And then let us know that the audio is okay for you.
This is from thinking hard. Starting from.
I'm going to baby. I know it. I just need to check though first, okay?
Reparations from slavery and black victimization is about to be shoved down our throats for the most ratchet holiday in America. BLM raised millions, but what did they do for black lives? It is outrageous to see people asking for reparations even though they never went through slavery. These ungrateful people should be celebrated because they were born in the greatest nation to ever exist. Here's a tip. If you don't like America, finally, get the fuck out.
Were you guys able to hear the audio? Somebody just let me know that the audio was loud and clear. I know her accent's difficult to navigate. I'm just waiting for one of the chatters. Okay, so L1L, hey cousin, was able to hear it. Does anybody need me to play it again so that you can understand some of the garble?
And remember, this is somebody that's running for representative of the state of Missouri. So with context,
they heard it. They just
got you. With context, this is a woman who is Colombian. Okay, this woman is Colombian, and you say because she's not a native English speaker, she is born in Colombia, came here, got her paperwork together in order, and now she's a citizen of the United States. Now, a few things you hear in there. She says at the end, get the F out of our country. Okay, our country, right? So she's using that word to claim the United States as her country, even though she is Colombian. Number two, she's calling Juneteenth the most ratchet holiday that is, and it's going to be shoved down their throats. So this is really a shot at
one demographic area that understand if she takes any type of political office, right, she represents the people that she hates. And really doesn't, right? Because your needs, wants, necessities don't matter to her, right? She's really going to claim a political office and pander to those who eat into her ridiculous rhetoric.
And you see at the end, if you didn't notice, it was real quick, the fake pose with the gun, so the gun gives her that I'm American, right? Because that's one of the symbols of being American is having a gun, a large gun at that. Not a handgun, not a pistol, but something that is
heavy artillery.
Heavy artillery that the normal citizen doesn't really need. But I'm not here to fight about guns, but she's just using gun as a symbolism. I'm American.
Let's be honest, those guns are typically used to kill other citizens in the country that you claim that you love.
And she had on a little bit of like a military garb.
She had on Kevlar.
But she's not a veteran.
No.
So these are the things and she says, my country, my great country. And as if you were born here and you have roots and lineage that go back to building your great country, if you will.
Now, can you imagine appearing as a Black person on Colombian television, running for office in these people's country and telling them, like a group of them, that whatever it is they believe in is whatever their equivalent is to ratchet. And if you don't like how stuff's going, get the fuck out the country. Can you imagine that? You as a transplant in their country? And you know what's funny? Only America has stuff like that happening.
Yes.
You couldn't go to anybody's country, run for office as a transplant and be shit talking on the people's networks, broadcasted networks. That's one. Two, it goes into what we've been telling you. When you go somewhere else, right, you can go to that other place. You can go to that other environment and be successful. Imagine that. You ain't running for whatever office you're running for in the United States. You're not running for that in Colombia. You know why? Because you wouldn't have made it. Somebody would have assassinated your ass. Long time, honey. Yeah. That's one. You couldn't make it in your country. So you had to go to the United States, able to build yourself up in another country. When we go to other people's countries, we got to build ourselves up first and then go to their country.
Yes.
We can't go to their country poor and desolate and try to build ourselves up and enter into offices and do this and do that. Exactly. You need to act right when you go to somebody else's house. You have to act like you have some home training. And you can't denigrate the people who have been here, have sacrificed, lineage has been productive foundationally, and be talking shit to them. Like, who are you to do that? And you would have another problem. You would have a problem if you heard somebody doing that in Colombia, even though you don't live there anymore and you're running from some type of American office. But the disrespect, all the disrespect, right? So this is why we are constantly telling you guys, you have to be the king of your own dominion.
Yeah.
You have to establish your own economic policy. You have to take on the obligations and responsibilities that come with doing for yourself. These are the people y'all are looking for solutions from. If she wins, it don't matter if you voted for her or not, right? In that local environment, that is who gets to make decisions on what you're going to do every day, what you're going to eat every day, how you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we have to figure out ways to untether ourselves from as many areas of activity as possible for that reason. Now, she's unapologetic about it, which I do actually appreciate. Right? She's not up there like, I'm going to be here to do whatever it is you need. I am everybody's. I don't know if she's a senator or representative. I am everyone's representative for the state of Missouri. She's not doing that. And then behind closed doors, that's her rhetoric.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate the honesty and transparency.
Yeah, because she is pandering to far right wing, you could just say white supremacists. She's pandering to them so that she can, get a butter biscuit and be on their side. Team white will take you in on our side. Right?
Cousin T Willline is in the room. Cousin T, did you get to hear the video we just played? Just confirm, because she's running for representative for your state. And I would like to hear your thoughts. I don't know if you want to hop on or if you're going to type what your thoughts are, whichever one is convenient. I know you're probably still in the office, but just confirm for me in the chat if you heard the video, because she is running for office in your state. But this is why we push that you got to do for self so hard. This is why we tell you, he said he saw it a while ago. Okay. I'm sure are they just playing that on TV in Missouri? Like, with St. Louis being a major city in St. Louis that got hella black people, that really is a big FU.
Right.
Like, for real, for real.
Right. That's your largest voting city, I would assume, in Missouri.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
That's a huge FU. And to do it now, that if he said he's seen it a while ago, I'm sure they made it a point to play it on about Juneteenth, right? So again, another big FU when you're basically just trying to, and we're not even trying to celebrate it. Like, hey, don't forget. Just like y'all like to do, y'all never forget. You knocked the damn building down yourself, talking about never forgetting, and all of a sudden we just forgot all about it. We want to do some never forget soon.
Yeah, they got never forgets out here. D-Day.
He said Kansas City is actually the biggest city in Missouri.
Kansas City, is it okay?
That might. I know St. Louis is a big city and there's hella black people, but it is a big FU. For the constituents, of that state.
And two, how do you come over from another country and denigrate and call a federal holiday of this country, of your great country?
He said they never heard of Juneteenth. It's new to them. If they don't teach it, they probably don't. That's odd too, I think.
Yeah.
See, that's just something even in New York, they didn't teach in the school, but we knew about it.
Yeah, we just knew about it. But, the fact that she's saying that it has to be forced down your throat, right? You talk about something that's being forced down our throat, is the whole month of June. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Whole month of June, we got to hear about, what's the month called?
Pride Month.
Pride Month. We got to hear about that.
What do the Bible say about pride, y'all? Pride goeth before the fall.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. John Robinson, Juneteenth is a joke. Right? Eso sí que es. Y'all look that up. It's Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So moving along, understand that you have to be the king of your own dominion because these people don't give a F about you, your children. They don't care if you live or if you die. The way that they're running the country, I think that they would rather that you do die. So, Simon Family Investment Ventures is hard with these are the different ways that you can get productive in your life portfolio, right? Independence financially, some type of DeFi, independent from the country. You don't want all of your eggs in one country's basket.
Nope.
Because if there is a large contraction in the market, if there is an economic winter, if you do have the wrong people in office, right? They will F up your whole portfolio because all of your assets are held. And when I say assets, I don't just mean your wealth, right? Like other aspects of your life are assets, right? If you're stressed out every day, your health is no longer an asset to you. Your health is now a liability to you, especially if you have to spend a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of time to get your health together because you're overly stressed because of the environmental conditions you live in financially, culturally,
Culturally, for sure.
social, politically, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we go so hard to tell you all of the little different responsibilities and obligations to take on in order to untether yourself.
And I will say this, and I've said this before, as you move around and you're trying to get a foothold and you do things, there is no black and brown coalition. Okay. They push that in the United States, especially in cities where you might have some Hispanics amongst the blacks that, hey, we should have black and brown coalition. And it sounds good. It sounds good, just like Pan-Africanism sounds good. But when you get out here, man, they're not your friends. So when you go to Colombia, I mean, it may be cool, but if you're trying to do real business, then you could do real business. But like, don't be getting into no partnership. These aren't your friends. Just because they got the same color, they're not going to be helpful to you. I mean, it's.
And we talk about that
Mm-hmm.
even in the crypto community, right? Crypto community, crypto and Bitcoin are supposed to transcend nationality and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Not true. And don't let nobody shove that down your throat because it's not true, right? When they have their events, their meetups, their collaborations, they don't go out of their way to invite you, to let you know that it's happening, and so on and so forth. Now, in the United States, it may seem a little bit more melting potish, but just understand when you leave the United States, these other countries are not melting pots.
Yeah, and
nationality is.
Nationality is. That's why when you see some of these places, these more popular places that people will transplant to, you see the United States or just Westerners in general have their own community, right? Within, like, say you live somewhere, we seen it out in a place called Lake Chapala, which is outside of Guadalajara. They had their own community, their own association. And it was mainly older white retirees from North America, right?
And again, they weren't trying to expand that to Black communities, right? From the United States. Nationality is, right? It is like that all over. That divisiveness,
Mm-hmm.
that's a real thing. And I think it's inherent in most people. So we want to tell y'all the truth because a lot of people, you live in the United States and it's been shoved down your throat that the United States is this great, beautiful melting pot where we're all different, but we're all the same and we can live in unity. No, you cannot. You are your own tribes. And just like they have tribal infighting and tribal conflict in other countries where the people look exactly the same, it is the same all over the world. So, like, we're here in Mexico. They know we're here. They know Simon Family Investment Ventures is but an hour away. They don't invite us to none of their stuff. They don't ask us to speak at any of their events. They don't share any of what of their collaborative innovations with us. And when we caught on to that, we were like, oh, cool. Then we'll establish our own community and we'll do the same, right? I know we've been fed Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream, but don't ever forget, never forget, right before they killed him, he said, I fear that I've integrated my children into a burning house. Mm. That the idea of integration wasn't a good idea. Mm. It was a horrible idea because all we did was lend our magical Negro-ness to a white society that will happily exploit the magicalness of it, but won't respect it.
Yeah.
And we just telling y'all the truth, right? When you get out here in this world, and it's sad to say this too, when you guys begin to travel, and many of you already are travelers, seasoned travelers, you notice that other Black people won't even speak when you see them. Y'all will be in Hong Kong, where not a Black person in sight. You will see another Black American, and they want to look wholly the other way
you like, hey,
as you walk down the street.
Hey, we got we probably mentioned this before, but we go to Mexico City. My son,
they the worst.
Yeah, my son Gordon Jr. He's sitting down here on the couch quietly. They play a game where
it's
they go
so bad that they have to play a game.
They go to Black people and they just, they're little kids too, and they just, hey, hi, how you doing, and people just.
So the game is
little kids,
right? You'll probably see 10 Black people in a day. So the game always starts at 10. Whoever get the most Black people to say hello to them wins the game. That's None of them ever really get past 3 or 4. And sometimes they be like, we saw 22 Black people today and we only got 2 of them to say hello. That's how bad it is. And these are children, right? This ain't some grown man trying to holler at you. And the women are the worst. The men, not so bad. But if the man is with a Mexican woman or with a white woman or anything but a Black woman, his ass ain't going to speak either. I'll tell you that now. And he surely ain't even look my way. He's going to turn the whole other way. Nobody's trying to shame you or anything like that. Just, I'm saying, hi, hello. I'm happy to see another Black person smiling, welcoming. Nope. Turn the other way. So we're telling you guys, we never romanticize anything. Right? I know a lot of people think, oh, traveling and jet setting and living in other places and eating other food and experiencing other cultural experiences is this glamorous, fabulous life. Mm-hmm. There's some realism to it too. There's some realistic aspects to it that need to be addressed and we need to talk about and we need to make clear, right? Yeah. We absolutely encourage you in traveling to try to make the attempt to find local meetups and stuff like that so that maybe you can establish some type of cryptocurrency Bitcoin relationship, right? Get that kind of Bitcoin vibe centric thing going. Mm-hmm. But the reality of it is sometimes it's easier said than done.
Oh, yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Right? You're just making the assumption that Bitcoin, like music, is this transcendentalism mm-hmm. that color and race and nationality don't matter, but they do. Every day of the week, they do. And you got to remember, it's wealth. And if this community can get a handle on yours, they will. And they will leave you out of it so that they can do better than you. Mm-hmm. Nas had this saying where he says, you ain't get the last dollar made. Like, why y'all acting like that? There's a whole bunch of dollars out here. Yep. We can get them together. You don't have to act like that.
Apparently an extra 1 trillion every quarter. So, yeah, it's some extra dollars
right?
out here.
But just that mentality, and to me, that's a poverty mindset anyway. When I hear rhetoric like that, especially hers, I know that you were born and raised in an impoverished economy, in an impoverished environment. You just don't know any better, right? That's not a growth mindset talking. You can hear that spirit. It's right. Not. So we do want to kind of bring those things to your attention and just remind you, do not look to anybody else for the solution that you need in your life. Do not look to anybody else for resolutions. Do not look to anybody else for butter biscuits. As Sweetness she would say, you got to bake your own butter biscuits. You got to find the ingredients. You got to put it together so that you can enjoy those biscuits yourself. One more Nas quote. I got a catalog of Nas quotes. Nas says, "You are the question and the answer." And I think that's deep, right? I could go back to Socrates and I can quote Plato, but why quote them when we got our own poets?
True indeed. This is true
We got our own
indeed.
poets.
This is true
And
indeed.
they're deep, they're profound. That's why we do so much quoting in hip hop. Not the ratchet stuff, not the drill rap. We're not going to be talking about murdering people and stuff like that. But we have a lot of American poets, foundational American poets, that we can quote from. I'm not going to quote Socrates. I'm not going to quote Krishnamurti. I'm going to quote Zoe, who quotes Krishnamurti. Shout out to Zoe Williams. Right? We got our own profound group of people, and we're going to do our best to kind of stick to our collective. But you are the question and the answer. The real question is, how much work are you willing to put towards your independence and your freedom?
Yeah, because we talk about this flag theory, and it's very important in building your life portfolio. But maybe what goes unsaid a lot is how much work that it takes to do certain things, to set up an investment account in another country. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of back and forth.
It's a lot of research before you even get to the execution of any of it.
Yeah.
The research alone is a lot of work. And I want to mention one more thing. Every episode, you're going to hear me say words or spells. And a lot of words and phrases are what we call precision of language. It is precisely stated. We talk about flag planting. And many of you just kind of in your mind think it's planting something in the ground. No. It's like planting a plant, right? You got to get that seed. You have to make sure the soil is turned. You have to make sure that the soil is viable. Then you have to water it and provide some moisture to it. Then you have to protect it.
Yep.
You watch it grow. You have to prune it. You have to do all of these things in order to get this thriving plant to grow. So when you hear flag planting theory, don't think like just planting your feet in the dirt or planting a pole into the ground. Think of it as planting an organic concept that has to grow and then thrive. And in order for the conditions to grow and thrive to take place, that requires a responsibility and obligation on your part. And this is why we tell you, like, these are ways you can get productive. These are ways you can go plan. These are ways you can achieve your goal. These are habits you can develop along the way that makes a life of wealth building easier. Doesn't make it easy. It makes it easier to be disciplined and consistent throughout that life to constantly gain significant beneficial outcomes. I want y'all to write that in your book. Take the time to write the word out. Significant beneficial outcomes. Very long phrase. And it's a very long phrase because that's the type of outcome that you get. It's a long lasting, thriving reward that you get from long-term discipline and consistency. We are not out here talking about making it rain. We're not out here talking about fun. We're not out here talking about party and bullshit. Right? That's not what we're here to talk to you guys about. We have enjoyed a significant amount of independence, and we're still tethered to multiple areas of activity. And we can feel the stress of it. We can feel the strain of it. Before we move forward, I did want to go back to my cousin O.C. Benji because I wasn't interested in his background. He said he loved the Packers. All right, Bengal fans. He's from Cincinnati, from New York. I'm not into football. I only like the Bengals because of him. He grew up in the South and moved to Wisconsin to take care of his dad and ended up staying. So OC Benji, tell me a little bit about the local economy in Wisconsin. Are there opportunities there? I believe Wisconsin was one of the digital nomad. They were handing out some incentives.
Um,
I think we read that Wisconsin, the state,
State.
had several digital nomad incentives to move there and stuff like that.
By charting, not to bring on bad news, but by the charting of United States, Wisconsin is one of the worst places. We would say Milwaukee, Wisconsin, one of the worst places for Black men to live. So just putting that out there for
Oh,
you
Milwaukee.
guys.
Oh, yeah, we did
As
watch that
far
documentary
as
too,
far
didn't
as
we?
like being,
Milwaukee.
being imprisoned.
Yeah,
So
but that was a long time ago, though. We don't have any updates for the last 20 years or
it's not been 20 years. It's
2024.
not been 20 years. It's been it was from like 2022 or
Was
something.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was like
It's a tough
2002.
it's a tough spot for
Okay.
Black men.
Well, tell us a
Milwaukee,
little
that
bit
is.
about it. That's
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah.
But OC Benji may not live there.
And they live in Kenosha.
OC Benji did say he's headed out to Mexico in a few years. Cousin, if you have any questions, you can email us at asses.arbitrage@gmail.com. And if you want to set up a FaceTime or whatever, Simon and I are happy to answer any questions you have about Mexico.
You said a few years?
Yeah, in a few years.
Okay.
There, and this is for anybody. This invitation goes out to any cousin. There's absolutely no cost involved. It's a free consultation. We'll talk to you as often as you need to give you whatever information or resources will help you make the decision on if that's where you want to go, where you want to go, the best areas for your goals and objectives. So, OC Benji, that invitation is open to you and any cousin. We're happy to FaceTime you, answer all your questions.
One of the problems with the United States, and if you guys follow me on this, is for international travel. It's really hard the way the United States is set up for you to travel internationally. Especially if you live up north or you live in like what we call the Midwest, right? Because, for example, where we were at for a long time, Cincinnati, right? There's no direct flights anywhere. So you're definitely going to be flying all the way to Florida before you can even get going to somewhere if it's in the Bahamas.
Yeah, you got to fly to a coast in order to go international.
Yeah, and
West Coast to East Coast.
And it makes it hard because a lot of people, like in Europe, they can just ping around from country to country. Same thing in South America, Central America. It's easier to get from country to country.
Now, I want to tell you guys this. That is on purpose and by design.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that a lot of the psychological caging of the United States is to keep you in place, to have that perpetual, I'm using very precise language here, to have perpetual access to your economic energy. I'm gonna tell you guys something else. I know you guys see the entertainment industry as a way to make a lot of money, be famous, so on and so forth. But one of the common causes in the entertainment business is to have access to your image and your likeness to use it however they want to, which is really your economic energy, into, and this is their legal term, perpetuity. That's forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever with no amen at the end.
No amen.
Right?
So these cats 360 deals, that's perpetuity.
360, think about that. That's a complete circle.
Yep.
That just goes round and around and around.
Yeah, that's how they
forever and ever and ever with no amen at the end. The borders of the United States. Yes, it is difficult to travel. Notice how expensive travel is. Travel has all of the things in place in order to incite just enough fear in as many people as they possibly can to keep them from discovering new horizons. And this is why I talk to you guys often about travel as much as you can. because what it does is it opens up the neural pathways in your brain. It gives you what we call the panoptic world lens. They want you to have a myopic world lens, meaning that small, if you have issues with myopia, that means you can only see this, right? You can't see too far. You have that near vision. I can't really see anything.
Yeah.
Right? Panoptic, panoramic. Y'all know when y'all have the panoramic camera, you got to move the camera all the way around to get that all-inclusive picture to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling gives you a panoptic world lens, and they don't want you to have that. Somebody who is a well-seasoned traveler, who understands culture, languages, and I'm not saying you have to be a polyglot, but understands multiple languages, at least the conversational part. This person is harder to oppress. And the idea is that it's not that you can't oppress them. You can't really lie to them because they've studied enough things and people in order to know that you're full of it when you come to them. Right? That rhetoric that the government gives you, those things that they try to program, those things don't work on that type of mind. And I know some of you are saying like, well, I'm not traveled and those things don't work on my mind. No, because we're in the age of Aquarian and all of those things are being exposed now. But before that, when those things were still hidden, when they were a conspiracy theory, they were able to utilize those things in order to put the chain around your mind and not around your hands or your feet.
Right.
People are scared to travel. They're scared to fly. People are scared to travel because they're scared of the language. People are scared to travel because they don't know where they're going. There's always some sort of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in discovering other places in the world. Right. And then you add that extra part of the loneliness. A lot of singles do travel.
Yeah, they do.
But they do weird and silly things when they get to where they're going. And we'll talk about that in another show. But what I do want to show you is look at how the migrants are traveling into the United States. They're migrating into the United States, and look how fast up they're getting a leg, and you guys are falling further and further behind. They're taking your money out of your pocket, giving it to these people who don't even have half a penny of respect for you. You can hear that shit in that video, right? And that's just one who's being honest. And they're getting themselves established and they're doing well in an economy which is having trouble.
And then talking about my country.
And you get the fuck out. Well, where am I going to go? This is my house.
Yeah, this is my country. You telling me to
But they're
out.
taking the food out of the children's mouths. Let me not say that, because I don't know where this is going to end up. But they're taking the food out of the children's mouths and they're giving it to people who didn't work for it and don't deserve it.
Yes.
I'm going to reframe that instead of saying it the way the Bible says it.
Okay. Can't go wrong with the Bible.
Yeah, but I don't know where this is going to end up, and I don't want that bite to just be out there, right?
Yeah,
my family's from the West Indies. They came here the right way. They filled out the paperwork. They applied. They had to, they had the opportunity to work themselves up, but in no which way, shape, or form did they disrespect anybody in the process. And my mom always tells me, I did not move all the way from Ghana for you to move yourself to Mexico with your children. So, mommy, you walk so I can fly. Yeah. Right? America was your opportunity. I have a different opportunity somewhere else.
It's true.
So there are opportunities out there for you guys to explore and discover. It's just that it does take a considerable amount of planning, right? It takes some trial, takes some error. It takes some revisiting and revisioning.
Yeah.
And you can have those benefits and those outcomes that you're looking for. And that's not for everybody, right? Like Cousin T. Willine has a whole company that he works for in his hometown, and that's not viable for him. But what I would tell Cousin T is that I would absolutely encourage you to vacation outside of the United States just to decompress from the stress and the labor you have with your business and all of the responsibilities to it. Yeah. That I would encourage. right? Obviously, if you can't get out the United States, definitely find some place to your liking in the US, whether it's a road trip or a plane trip. But if you do have the opportunity to travel out and you have a situation like Cousin T, where you own your business, you built it from the ground up, and you are the staple of the business, almost to a single point of failure when you think about it, you definitely, that's not for you to move to another country. But we would want you to plant a flag of leisure, whether it's the Caribbean or, someplace that fits your personality to what would help you decompress from the day-to-day of being a hardworking Black man or Black woman. Cousin L said he thinks she's gonna win. Let Freedom Ring says you can be what you want to be in America. That's true. America is, to me, is like the land of illusion.
Be what you want to be.
Right? You can be what you want to be, and you can lie about it. Fake it till you make it. Y'all remember that used to be the thing? Fake it till you make it. The people that she's looking to get to vote for her accepts that message. They love it. You should read the
because that's on TikTok. If you could you can click on there and read the TikTok comments, and they love it. They like, she's a real American, and I'll follow somebody like her any day, and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy stuff.
We must protect her at all costs. Cousin L1L said the entitled were pissed off that doctors' offices and banks were closed for the holiday.
Oh, goodness.
That's the truth. Cousin John Robinson, I don't know if he's trolling us or if he's just telling us Juneteenth is a joke. I wish he would clarify. He said Juneteenth is a joke, and I said eso sí que es.
Okay.
L1L said, my clear friend gave me an earful about, he actually said they are costing taxpayers money. The migrants, I'm guessing, is what you're talking about, Cousin L.
Clear friend.
His people knew that when they created. Are you talking about the holiday? Cousin L1L, tell me a little bit more about what you meant in that comment. Let Freedom Ring said we must compete or be destroyed in this free market. And that is God's honest truth, let freedom ring. Right is survival of the fittest, only the strong survive.
So and I'm glad you said that, because what's happening here at a political level, they already know about being below replacement, correct?
Yes.
So most of the politicians are white men, right? And white women, so we'll give them that. They are below replacement. So if they can't find people of their own race to replace them, they will find these people who want to be a white supremacist like her,
right? And they'll categorize them as Caucasians. Y'all see how, like, when you're filling out job applications, how intricate. I remember, I think it was Reggie.
Okay.
When Sean was filling out the job application.
Yeah.
And it was asking like, you're this, but you're not Hispanic or Latino. You're that, but you're not Black. You're this, but you're not white. And Reggie was like, none of that makes any sense to me. Like, what if I was Black and Latino? I said, well, then you would fill this out. And then he started throwing all of these weird, what if I was Hawaiian and Black? Would that make me Samoan? And it's like, yes, it would. And you would click this one and that one. And he just started throwing all of these different combinations together. Like, this is the weirdest questionnaire I have ever seen. And what they're doing is they love categorizing and labeling, because what does labels do? Label puts you in a box. And when I put you in a box, what am I able to do? Contain you. It's always about the prison. We are prisms of light. They want to have control of that energetic body. Right? And remember, I told you guys, money is just this is a physical, tangible item that represents that energetic labor. That's why you exchange money for time, money for labor, money for intellect or wisdom, I should say, not intellect, but wisdom, right? You could be the smartest person in the world and dumb as a box of rocks. But that wisdom, if you don't know how to fix the sewage spill in your basement, you have to pay somebody who is able to apply the information they have in order to resolve that problem for you. But in that wisdom also comes the energetic labor involved. That plumber got to get down, butt crack showing, and fix this, fix that, clean it. Like there's no job that doesn't take any type of energetic labor. And I know you're like, well, labor is labor. When I say energetic, I want you to understand that your body runs on electricity. That's why when you're half dead and dying, it's electricity that brings you back, right? When the egg and the sperm come together, there is a spark of light. When your neural pathways are being created in your brain, you're reading a book, you're learning something, you're listening to Simon Family Investment Venture give you that real game.
There you go.
That's electricity that creates those grooves into your brain to make them look like a packet of ramen before you cook it. That's how our brain should look. People who have dementia and Alzheimer's, their brain looks like a packet of ramen after you cooked it for about 6-7 minutes, where the noodles are almost all straightened out.
Straightened out, yeah. And
okay, so the enemy came to kill, steal, and destroy. That was Cousin Tamadon.
yes, they do.
OC said they're not like us. No. And Tariq Nasheed talks about this. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Mm-hmm. He talks about, it's called intersectionality. And he talks a lot about how we come to everybody rescue all the time. And don't nobody even bother to come to our rescue. When they have their own things and stuff like that and they don't need us, they don't bother with us. But when they need our energetic labor, wisdom, when they need that magical Negro-ness, they come, oh, pandering to you. You guys are so good at this. I love the way you sing and dance. Do you have hot sauce in your purse, ma'am? You know, that kind of foolishness.
Yeah.
All skin folk ain't kin folk. That's true, Cousin T. Mm-hmm. Let freedom ring. Didn't I tell you cousins call you by your first name?
Gordon. Oh, okay.
I was telling hubby that. I said, I noticed that the cousins call you Gordon, and it's weird because I've never called my husband by his first name. Never call him by his first name. I don't even call my baby Gordon Jr. I call him Junior. So when I hear the cousins call him Gordon, I'm always kind of like, how did that come about? I call you Simon. He said Gordon is correct. No black, brown coming together, just African-American blacks, FBAs, etc. Each man or each group for themselves. If Cousin Jake was on, he would say, God for every man and every man for themselves. Is that what he say? I hope I ain't mess it up. He gonna get mad at me. He was like, you keep saying it wrong. Cousin T said, I can't trace my heritage back to Africa. I'm American. That's relatively a new term. My grandmother told me Jesse Jackson made that up. Yes, yep. When they were doing the Rainbow Coalition, they made up all of these terms because they ain't like being called niggas.
Yeah, Jesse Jackson made that up. I want to say in 1984. Yep. Right around that time, he was campaigning for president
with the Rainbow Coalition. Yeah. They made up those terms.
I don't know if you guys, if I'm showing my age, but if you guys remember when Jesse Jackson put his bid in for president,
they don't like they didn't like Negro.
So he was going African American. He made that term.
He did.
And then everybody it took off like wildfire.
So Cousin T, you're absolutely correct in that. Yeah. Absolutely correct.
Sorry about showing my age, but yeah, Jesse did try to run.
I know because he said his grandmother told him. Now I feel old now. I was there when it happened.
Yeah. So Jesse tried to put his bid in.
Let freedom ring. Integration was the worst thing for us as people. Mental slavery is real, said John Robinson. Okay, so John he wasn't trolling us.
Let's tap into what he said about integration being the worst thing that could happen.
So we talk about Juneteenth. Oh, you go first.
Well, I was just going to say, before integration, if you guys go back, and we all have done this in our history, blacks had their own bus companies.
But that's why I was going to take them on the little history.
Yeah, their own taxi. They had the what do you call it? The Negro Leagues, which Major League Baseball was just pining. They was trying
Who did they say? Because they integrated the Negro Leagues into the MLB the other day that such and such, he beat out Babe Ruth, he beat out Joe W. He beat out all of them.
Okay.
He's a black gentleman from the Negro Leagues. I read that to you last month.
Oh, yeah, because since they took the records and made them official, Josh Gibson.
There we go. You got it.
Started taking over some of these records from some of these old legendary,
from the legacy players.
The legacy players, and of course, you know, the dominant society doesn't like that. To see a black man take over all the legends records,
right? Babe Ruth and all of them,
and and so they were pining. They wanted the Negro League. It was. They had better players. It was more exciting, and everybody had their own baseball league. I mean, they had their own airlines and things like that. Their own hospitals, their own schools, their own universities,
their own curriculum. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
But so this is a good segue for Juneteenth. So after all of that liberation took place, you have to remember they like to paint the slaves as these disheveled, tattered, I don't know which way I'm going, boss. Like they don't know anything, real bumbly, scatterbrained, right? That was the narrative they tried to project. But the reality of it is that these were the skilled workers. The plantation owners didn't do anything, right? These were the masons, the bricklayers. These were the seamstresses. These were the chefs, the culinary innovators. A lot of the meals that we enjoy now all came from there. When you talk about alcohol, y'all know Jack Daniels was by that black man in the picture. Everybody else was just there tasting it. They were the taste testers. They were professional taste testers. So during the age of Reconstruction now, they are building their own towns. They had to because of segregation. And I'm not talking about Jim Crow, but they were separated, right? White people didn't want them there. All of the money from white towns, and you guys really do need to read The Creature of Jekyll Island. They don't tell the story, but when I tell you this, you put the story together as you're reading it. And remember, all of the money was tethered to all of the gold. So it was at 100% back in these days.
Yeah, this is before,
So all of the money is leaving white society and entering into black society because that's where all the skilled laborers were. That's where the mathematicians were. That's where the bricklayers were, the masons were. You want to build a store, you had to hire the people to do it. The wet nurses, the surrogates, and all of these other skilled people. So all of the money left white society and went into black society. Go ahead.
And, not even to divert, but it flipped it on its head to where, like you said, the black people were skilled.
They're skilled.
But what happened to the white people?
They didn't have any skills.
The white people became unskilled labor. So when you just needed people to just dig a ditch, move
and let's
rocks
make that clear.
And stuff like that.
You can still see the remnants of that in our society today.
Yes, you can.
Right? Because it trickled down generationally, and it became part of their collective consciousness. When we talk about that magical Negro, the skilled aspect for us became part of we were always the skilled ones. We made up math. We didn't make it up. We discovered it. We were the one in ancient Kemet who did the mystery schools. It had always been us, and it's stayed with us. That's why I said there's a difference between what they show you and what the reality of it is. So when the money is now going into black society, understand that because every single dollar was tethered to gold, that their money was always what we call in profit, meaning they could save money and it compound. That's one. Two, their banks were filled to the gild with money because their money wasn't allowed in white society. And in addition to that, all of the money was leaving white society and going back into black society because now they're paid skilled laborers. Even though they didn't make a lot, in a sense, they were able to save. If they wanted to expand on their businesses, they could because they saved their money, which was backed by gold.
Yes.
So gold accounted for every single dollar in circulation. Now, enter the Fed. I'm giving y'all Cliff Notes version. I'm giving y'all the Simon Family Investment version. Enter the Feds. They wanted to figure out how can we gain access to their money. And that is really what prompted the Federal Reserve. It was Reconstruction and our societies and our banks that they said we need to find a way to tap into those black dollars. And then when they came up with the Federal Reserve, the idea was that when they created contractions in society for their poor business practices, that they were going to come together and be like, we're going to blame it on the economy. We're going to blame it on the markets. We're going to blame it on we're going to create like these scientific terms and factors to make it sound intelligent so that they can't see it's really us. And that's when you started to notice white society started to get mad. And that's where you have the floodings, the bombings, the lynchings. All of that was the antagonistic resentfulness and bitterness of greatness and the cost that was associated with that. That's why you had those, and you've had those Black Wall Streets all the way back to Reconstruction. Here's something else you don't know. It's a fact that when we talk about patents and technological innovations, Black people had more than half of the patents over any other demographic group. You would have Black innovators, I can't remember his name, he had over 50 patents himself 10 years after Reconstruction was established. 50 patents all by himself. You guys know Alexander Graham Bell to be the one, because I work in telecommunications tech. You guys know Alexander Graham Bell is the one who invented the telephone. No, it wasn't. It was Lewis Latimer, but he couldn't put his name on it. So Alexander Graham Bell took credit for it, right? What they show you, this is the reality of it. It was Lewis Latimer. When you talk about Jack Daniels, I'm sorry, I can't remember the gentleman's name. He's in the picture. That was his innovation because his grandpappy taught him the recipe and how to refine it to what you know today is Jack Daniels. Henry Ford, he was very unapologetic. He was very transparent. For those of you who don't know Henry Ford for the Ford vehicle, also know him that he was the inventor of the 5-day work week.
Yes, he was.
That 9 to 5, 5 days a week. He said that it was known that he wasn't really that intelligent, but he was smart enough to gather around the right people around him, the right advisors, the right colleagues, the right collaborators, and was able to put his name on everything. So now you guys got Henry Ford like he a genius like Elon Musk, or he a genius like Donald Trump, or he a genius like all of these other people who have these advisors around them to make them seem like geniuses. And it's why we also tell you to take stock in who your partner is. That is the collaboration for life. If you get with the right partner, you can build an empire. You know, they talk about power couples. Are we Beyonce and Jay-Z? Probably not, but we get shit done every day of the week. And you can put us anywhere on God's green earth. We're going to triple our worth.
At least.
Sean Carter.
At least, but
the blueprint.
Give me more than that. Give me more than the triple. But I feel what you said.
Right? So these are the things that we want to keep in mind. We want to see what this is, but we also want to understand the reality of it. So I'm glad that that was Let Freedom Ring, right?
Yeah.
Thank you about integration. He said we got a lot of problems. Many people don't want to work. They want reparations. I think every other demographic group who was due reparations was paid the hell out. I am from Nassau County, Long Island. I want you guys to do your homework and look up Levittown. Those people got money. They got $30,000. They got a free house. It was a Cape Cod. An entire society is a whole town.
These are, and remember, these are mostly GIs. From World War II coming back.
I gotta go get the kids. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get the kids money for the ref.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right here.
So a lot of GIs came back from World War II, and this is the thing that was afforded to them, the VA loan. But you remember the blacks were not allowed to use the VA loan. So this is right there already a step up above where we might have been equal coming home from the war. You get a step up. You get a house and some money, cash money, and you get to build your family starting there. And, you know, unfortunately, the black soldiers, the black GIs who came home, man, they just, you know, they had to do it like they normally do it. And you know, that puts you back That sets you back generationally. And still, blacks worked hard and they continue to catch up. It catch up. And that's one of the things that makes the dominant society very upset is that we continue to catch up. We continue to get right back with you, and if not past you. And that bothers the hell out of them. Kind of like, how could you get this far in life?
With no boots and no bootstrap.
Right.
Cousin T said most people are trying to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Building wealth isn't fun. No, it's not. That's why we have generation of low-income families. No one wants to put the work in. I think that's true. Milwaukee is the biggest city here. Oh, I didn't know. He said it's crazy segregated.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And you're right. It's not the best place for a black man. Boom, BK Crypto. We should probably shift over to what is his name?
Okay.
Royce.
Royce the 5'9".
Right? Because he got a boom. That was my song.
Boom.
Click, 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 click. Let freedom ring. Economic slavery, yes. And psychological slavery. Cousin T, wow, we should stop blaming others for our shortcomings. Yeah, the holiday. His friend was mad the bank was closed for him. Then his friend doctor's office was closed. He blames us for stopping work and people being off. The first words were, "I'm not racist at all," but that's funny. That's like when somebody say no disrespect, but all the disrespect.
Here we go.
He said they just created this holiday out of absolutely nowhere. He said, "I keep hot sauce. I refuse to sit down and eat and be mad." I'm older than y'all. Oh, T. Will, I said he older than us. So you don't remember that when Jesse Jackson was doing the Rainbow Coalition and he came up with all of these names? It was a lot more names than that. They just didn't stick.
Yeah. They try to hit us with some stuff. Man.
He said Black Wall Street got built. Blacks as a group had nearly 20 million acres of land. Nerd Up Inc., thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, and dang, I lost my train of thought, but in reference to African American, I don't know. There's a short clip you might see of Floyd Mayweather, and a lot of people got on him because he said, "I'm American." He said, "I'm not African American. I'm just an American." Mm-hmm. And they got on him like, "Oh man, that's kind of coon talk and stuff like that."
Because we so used to the vision.
Yeah, but he's right, because what happens is when you go out here and you travel in this world and you pull out that blue passport, you're American. Dang, yeah, bright on.
Did it mess up the?
Yeah. You're American. That's how they treat you. They treat you as an American, no matter what your race is behind it. You're an American. That's how they're gonna treat you. There are laws written in of what you are able to have as an American. That's why we do the passport index every year, because it tells you how valuable your passport is, right? Mm-hmm. And the things that you can get using your passport. Number one, weighted thing on their list is visa-free travel. And the United States ranks high in that. Mm-hmm. They rank high in that. But other things they rank very low in, such as taxation, privacy, and things like that. So, the passport is ranked about 38. So you would be surprised. You're like, what? The U.S. passport is ranked 38? And there's 37 better passports? I said, yeah, by their metrics, there are 37 better passports. And each year, the United States passport is
falls
dropping
further and further down.
And that's why I say use it while it still has some strength, because it's getting to the point where it's really, if you go look at the rankings, it's next to Mexico, Chile, and places like that. So if you got a Mexican passport, it's almost
comparable.
As good as having a United States passport.
Comparable.
Yeah, and one of the highest weighted things is, are you able to go to the EU or the European Union? Yeah. And some of those passports, you can't go to Europe, so it gets rated low, or you can't go to the Western world, America, Canada, stuff like that. It gets rated lower. And, so it's very valuable to be able to go to the Western world. It's very valuable to go to Europe. So that's what they will have with their passport ratings. I believe the best passport rating to have right now is UAE. That was number one, United Arab Emirates.
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways to get it, but it's expensive. It's expensive if you're not from there. So
Mm-hmm.
and the other ones is up there in Europe, Finland, Sweden,
Yeah,
Switzerland,
the happiest
those
places in the
Norway's,
world.
those
Yeah.
places are in the top 10. Just if you want to know, and I name, you go around the United States and you see a lot of people from other countries, right? Right? You
Mm-hmm.
from New York, y'all had all kind of people from up there in New
Mm-hmm.
York.
But there were also deliberate people we did not see.
You did not see people from Sweden.
Yes, we did.
No, I'm talking about in general. You don't see people moving here to the United States.
No, not moving. They're visiting in New York. They're in Manhattan.
But they're not moving. They're not like,
No,
I'm
it's the
an
happiest
immigrant.
place on earth. No,
Yeah,
they're
people
not
from
immigrating.
Finland. I've never came across a Finnish person.
I have.
And what else? You got Switzerland.
What I didn't come across was somebody from Brazil,
Norway. Well, they want to keep
or
them
Cuba.
cats out. Keep them cats up out of
in
here.
New York. When the Fed was created, the income tax also, which gave the government the ability to destroy wealth. Yes, they want the ability to tap into your wealth. When you make money, we make money too, right? So it's really not any different than a bully or a cartel. Cousin L said, what is the antagonist today? They made it kind of complicated, but multiple factors are the antagonist today when you think about it. Especially in a country where, so let's go over to the entertainment realm, because that's the easiest one to pick on, right? Whether it's sports or entertainment, it's all entertainment to me. They get paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, right? Many of them are very wealthy. How they manage their money is another thing. But when you start digging into the reality of it, you start seeing all of the little intricate ways that they keep those people in line, right? LeBron James is a billionaire in a sense, but L1L, if he's a billionaire, and I don't know what his contract is, how much money do the owner of the Lakers have? That would be the question.
Jeannie Buss.
How much money does she have? Mm-hmm. Or her family legacy have? How long do they have that access to that money? Because you know that the Lakers is a legacy. Can LeBron James just come out here and say whatever he wants to? No. Mm-hmm. Right? Can he speak on things that need to be spoken on? No. They'll tell you, shut up and dribble that basketball and stop playing with us. How many people had to apologize to Adam Silver for one thing or another? How many people have to make these public apologies for one thing or another? And now it's coming out. You got all of the artists coming out telling you all of the things that they say and do to you physically in order to keep you in line, putting you in a dress. Emasculating you, buck breaking you. That Willie Lynch letter, all it did was just evolve. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, we're talking about color and stuff like that, but I'm 1,000% they do that to the white entertainers as well. Right? When you look at Justin Bieber, that child is, I don't know what they did to him, but it was something along the lines of what they did to Michael Jackson.
And so, yeah.
When they start, telling you ways that they keep you in line. So that's the antagonist today.
They do buck break you, you know what I'm saying? And you got, for example, you got a big, what's the bald head, big, strong dude?
Terry Crews.
Yeah, you got Terry Crews coming out talking about
somebody grabbed
an
his
executive
crotch
grabbed his crotch
in front of his wife at a party,
and he did nothing.
He couldn't.
Big brolic dude let a white man, let's just call it what it is, grab his crotch at a party
in a public setting in front of his people. Wife, and that just, I don't know what she thought after that.
You just stand there like,
I'm gonna ruin my career.
Right.
Then when the girl Gabrielle Union talked about whatever happened at America's Got Talent, I don't know what happened on there. Terry Crews, or Cruz is his name, I'm sorry, was like, I don't see no racism. Right? Damon Wayans, see, we old, y'all young. Damon Wayans did an interview skit like that. Yeah. I don't see no racism.
Yeah, so
J-Man, hey, what's up, cousin? It's hard to set up toll booths for wealth extractions when our people are focused. Yes, yes, it is. Love Jack Daniel, Uncle Nearest, the best drink, let freedom ring. But just the idea that a lot of the cell phone, that was us. Telegraph, that was us. Telephone, that was us. A lot of the comforts, the luxuries, the items that we enjoy today, that was us, right? So that's why when I see all of the disrespect, it bothers me because a different country that's more homogenous, they would laud us like the greatest pioneers in the world because you are just American at the end of the day. My lineage doesn't come from America, and they've been spread around to so many different plantations. I don't know if we could ever dial back to where the lineage is from because that's what they used to do in those days. My mom to this day is still able to speak a patois that is Dutch, English, and French because of the Guyanas. That's where the plantations were. And the Dutch, even though colonial Guyana is British, the Dutch and the French still had plantations. They all had plantations. They were friends. They were all friends. And the old Dutch West Indian Company, that boat that used to bring the labor to the different areas, they used to move them around like manpower.
Yeah, and understand, because in our mind, because I talked about it earlier, when we think about another country, it's like, man, you got to go way over here. But keep in mind, geographically, these countries are very close together. Like you would see states in the United States. So yeah, you can move something from Dutch, right, to French. It's just like boom, boom. It's just like right there.
Yeah, and they're moving families. They're separating families. Can you do that for me? Oh, yeah. They're breaking up families and stuff, and they move you around to the different plantations and stuff. So they're, like I said, to this day, she can still do the it's a special patois. Right? You guys know patois for just some of the broke up language that is taught. But she has different phrases and stuff that I learned as a little girl. I don't use them because it is indicative of those slave days. But one of them is paisa no vas, right? Yeah. And it just means there aren't any fish in my basket. Well, what does that mean? It means I don't have any money in my wallet. Can you pay for this for me? So, that's just one of many phrases that I did learn as a little girl, but we don't use because it is reminiscent of slave days and it's indicative, it's evidential of the slaves being moved around from Suriname to French Guyana, back to Dutch Guyana, and so on and so forth. So just a little bit of history for you guys. We like to pretend that we're anthropologists in this big, beautiful, complicated,
historians and what,
colorful world.
I'm big on Black history globally. All over the world, because it does help us all. Some of the people who took on the fight. No matter whether it be somewhere in Africa, somewhere in the Caribbean, it helps.
But it also reminds us that our community is our community. We are responsible for building it up. We are responsible for nourishing it, helping it thrive. And I think we should just slow down on the invitation of intersectionality. Babe, I think I need a new charging cord. And inviting others and just remembering how much we are not collaboratively invited when they, whoever they may be, have their own thing. So
yeah, because it's okay for everybody else to say we're doing this for us as a group,
but we're not allowed to say that.
No, when we say it, it's like, well, why is it?
Why are you isolating us? Why are you being so divisive?
Right. So.
Right, you're allowed to have St. Patrick's Day and celebrate the luck of the Irish, but you can't have Juneteenth and celebrate the freedom of Black people.
Right.
I can name a lot of different. Boy, I think I'm in trouble, babe.
Right.
I can name a lot of different because I needed to charge. That's the only charger I have.
Oh, dang.
For my MacBook, so we probably have to go grab one tomorrow.
Okay.
I can name a lot of different holidays that we celebrate. They celebrate Pride Month. They don't even get a day. They get a whole entire month And it's like, but you guys, foundational Black, we're all American. We're all foundational. And it's like, no, 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 that's not true. When we talk about foundations and building the country, if you built it on my back, you are not foundational. You just built it on my back.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we love y'all. Let Freedom Rin say y'all brought it hard tonight. Yay.
Yeah.
We tried to do a good job, y'all.
Yeah, we did. We worked on it a little bit today. We worked on a lot of things today. And but this was just something we wanted to bring up. You know, when I seen that video, I was like, oh man, this is disgusting. We need to talk about it. And
can you do it in the second input for me?
Yeah, and we wanted to talk about it and
let me see if maybe it's an input problem.
Yeah, sorry guys. We just having some technical
my MacBook gonna die, y'all, and you know that's my whole life.
Dang it.
Come on now, let's be fair. We got MLK Day. Yeah, we do. Yeah, but they don't celebrate Black History Month like they celebrate Women's Month, like they celebrate Pride Month, like they celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What else month do we have? They don't celebrate Black History Month like that. Especially not in corporate America. I'm gonna tell you that now. Yes, we have it, but they don't. No. And it's the same names over and over and over, right? Uh-huh. The same names. We don't even learn about new people. He said, let's think it out. OC Benji said, y'all came with it today. We do here in Missouri. Yeah, but y'all don't know nothing about Juneteenth. That should be part of Black History Month. So I don't get it. But they don't. In a lot of corporate America, it gets like, yeah, they mention it. It's Black History Month, and that's it. Right? You get a little banner or something like that, but that's about it. But anyway, not that important today. The day has come and gone. But we did want to just really talk about having that real energy to be the king of your own dominion. And I think that should be the forefront of boys, both inputs. That should be on the forefront of everybody's mind. It's June 21st. You still have 9 great days to start planning your Q3 for July 1st. Mm-hmm. And maybe you put at the very top of that paper, if you don't know what goals you want to accomplish in July, you don't know where you want to start yet, just write down at the top of your paper, I am going to be the king or queen of my own dominion. Mm-hmm. And then right under that, and I am going to enjoy significant beneficial outcomes. And then start kind of reverse engineering. How? Yes. When? Where? What do you need to do that? Who do you need to contact to help you get that? And try to run it that way. But we love y'all. My computer gonna die. Yeah, I need to go see if I can find another charger. I need to go to the store to buy one. But we will definitely see you guys nice in the evening on Monday. We love y'all, cousins. Mamba out. There were 43 people.